I'm working on some freeze drying. We usually stock some canned goods, and when they get near their expiration or past their expiration, sometimes we might freeze dry some of it. So I'm taking something that has a couple of years of life and turning it into something with 25 years of life. Since this has cheese in it, it's going to be a little bit of an experiment to see how well it comes out. Things with a lot of fat sometimes don't freeze dry well. But soups in the past, I've done this this chicken soup before, and it's done really well. While we're looking at this, I'm thinking about over here, Cindy had picked one of the loofahs out of the garden, and it's in here drying out. If you're not familiar with a loofah, people often use it as a scrub pad when they're bathing. It's a soft scrub pad that's natural, and I guess you can scrub dead skin off. You know, it's kind of a little bit abrasive. Sometimes people cut it up and put it in homemade soup. I'm thinking about soup over here. Homemade soap, and makes like a scrubby soap. So it looks like it's going, like I said, really well. It's drying out and turning into what I've normally seen in stores or sitting on the side of a bathtub. Chickens are getting big. They're too big to fit in their feeding trough anymore. They try to sit in there, but they're getting pretty huge. I just moved them, so they're on fresh grass. We're moving them every day now. So here's where they were a few days ago, and then they came here. So you can see some of the wear and tear and a lot of the poop that's still on the ground. Digging in the grass. Over here we moved them again, digging in the grass. Just got to keep their water filled up. I just topped it off. And keep their food filled up. So they're living right in front of our front door. So in the evenings, we can just take the cord and plug it in over there by the porch and turn on their light to give them a little bit of heat, especially if it's going to be cold. I'm driving through our little fruit tree orchard here. We've got a couple there. Well, that's 3 and 4 and 2 and 4, 5. And then we got all these over here. We planted all these as we were moving in. If you've been with us that long, you've seen all that. This tree is a really nice size. All of them started out kind of like this one, like a stick. These are becoming real trees, kind of. There's my comfrey that I put together with them as a partner to help bring those minerals up from deep down in the ground and give them some extra nutrients they wouldn't get on their own. I planted these by seed, and they're doing great. You know, this one has sprung up a lead for flowers and seeds, and this one over here has 2. We might have lost a couple of them. I thought I put one on this tree and on this tree, and they're gone. I do see one on this tree. So either I'm mistaken, or maybe some rabbits have started wiping them out. But most of them are still here. So I think we're going to do really well. I've got some more seeds for next year in the spring. I'll probably put one at every single tree, get some more of them going. We've been keeping these 2 sheep separated because they were in with the ram. And Favia has already had her baby, and her baby is already out in the field. So these 2 were wondering what's going on. I'm not so sure they're pregnant. We're starting to think they might not be pregnant. But they were in there for a couple months with the ram, Ramon. Maybe in another month, maybe they'll have a baby. We're just hoping we get at least 1 more, and hopefully 2 or 3 more. What'd you say? Where's your mama? Here's your mama. Fabia, your baby's calling. Here she is. How's that? Nice and peaceful? I like to get them all frozen in the freezer first, and then I put them in here. So here's some tomato basil soup, frozen. Cheese tortellini, and 2 of those, and then 3 cheese tortellini. So those are all frozen and ready to go. It's like I'm getting to the projects that I've been dreading now. I've really been dreading this, hooking up the sewage to the septic tank. But I am gonna be happy to have this done, because once this is done, then if I want to run any water in the house, I don't have the well hooked up yet, but you know, if I want to pour anything down a drain, it's going to go down to where it needs to go. So I'm about to cut this pipe. I'm going to cut a piece of pipe so I can see where to cut this. I'm going to start looking at my fittings and see if I got all the fittings I need to make this connection. Okay, y'all are busted. Haven't you ever heard curiosity killed the sheep? Oh, now you realize you got caught. The reason you can't open it is because you don't have thumbs. If you had opposing thumbs, you could live in there. Okay, I'm excited that this fitting gave me the correct angle to get lined up over here and connect to the house. So that was really good, because this pipe has been in the ground for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. And then it just happened to line up at a good angle with this house. And maybe I think originally there was a trailer here years ago. And I think that the trailer was probably sitting at the same angle that the house is. So they probably designed it to be at this angle to hit the trailer just right. So anyway, it's worked out great for us. I got this connector that does not have a separator in the middle. I put it on this pipe. When I got this one in place, I just slid it down onto it, so it's on both pipes. This line is an exaggeration. The center is probably right in the middle. And I'm going to tighten these straps up and we're good. Another reason I used the flexible connector, you can see that the pipe drops and goes downhill more right here. I probably could dig this out back up closer to the house and maybe push the pipe down and get it a little more straight. But this just makes it easy at this point. So glad that sewage is done. Now I'm over here at the well. I'm hooking up the well water. So I'm bringing some conduit out of the ground and bringing my wire up, and I'm gonna put an outlet in here so that I could plug in like a heat strip or put a light bulb in there or something to keep it warm on nights when it's gonna go down in the teens or colder. And then I'll just junction over here to this for about 36 hours. This has just finished. Let's take a look at these soups. There's a nice tomato basil. It's got a nice shine. Cheese tortellini. You can hear it, that crispy noise. And 3 cheese tortellini. Go ahead and break into this. Wow, that is a tough material. Feels like, as usual, I mean, it's what I say all the time when I'm looking at these foods, it feels like styrofoam. I'm gonna start putting it into this Mylar bag. I need to taste a piece of this though. Just break off that little triangle right there. Tastes like tomato basil, but very intense. I covered up the outlet in case it rains because I'm not quite ready to cover this up yet. But my PEX is down, connected to the house, going underground. And here's my test valve to, well, we can blow off any bad water. I know that there was a little bit of rusty color in there. We can blow all that out. If we decide to treat the well again, if we need to, we can blow off all the chlorine or whatever we use. Probably use chlorine dioxide for that. I think it's, well, it's absolutely safer than chlorine. So I just feel like I need a shut-off valve to shut this off to the house. So I want to add that. And then I'm gonna take some pipe insulation and cover this all up. And also I'll go ahead and put a piece of heat tape in there so that on the hot nights, on the really cold nights where it's gonna freeze, we can plug that into the outlet and warm up all that pipe, keep it from freezing.